Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. I think this is going to be a short video that we'll use in conjunction with some tree videos that we will be doing.
You mean one of your Silvix videos?
Exactly, Silvix, very good.
Your made-up word.
Your vocabulary is improving. So this is obviously a blowdown. Damage, it's a fir, so butt rot in our local fir, especially in southern New Brunswick, is a common issue. And this is not exactly a disaster for your woodlot by any stretch, but the reason I'm taking a section of him out today is this area, which I just really started exploring a short while ago, is home to a whole bunch of red oak regeneration. There's a little patch just over here where there's 4 little oakies within about a 4-foot square area. And up under that big birch, there's a couple up there. So I want the birch out so that my little oakies have sunlight and hopefully little inhibition to grow for quite a few years. But I want that birch to come this way, and so therefore I don't want to just try and drop it onto this tree. That could make a real mess.
A big mess.
I want to take a section of this out. I can process some of this firewood, and
leave space for the birch to come down.
This hopefully should be fairly simple.
Famous last words.
Come from down below up, and the tree hopefully will just go plop, and then I'll just cut it into firewood lengths and start processing it from there. But who knows?
Sounds good in theory.
It's the mystery of what is in fact going to happen that it makes it all interesting.
First chunk.
Repeat this another dozen times or so, and this is a done project. This is the first of our Get to Know Your Trees of the Acadian Forest video. Very important, you can't manage what you don't understand or know. The tree of choice for today is the red spruce. It's a conifer. Hanging on to one right here. As Debbie mentioned before we went live, it's not a great specimen, but that's only what you see today. So some of the key facts that you need to know about red spruce. And I'm not going to get a lot into identification. You can do that on your own. There's a Nova Scotia website that has tree identification. I want to talk mostly about the characteristics of the tree. The red spruce was a very common and probably the most common conifer of the original Acadian Forest. Jamie Simpson calls it the signature tree of the Acadian Forest. In the stand that we're at, we actually 40% of our volume here is still red spruce. Generally, red spruce is a lot less common than it used to be. It's been outcompeted by white spruce and fir through our farming and forestry methods. So it's becoming more and more scarce, although it's not a species at risk at this point in time. So red spruce is very shade tolerant, so it can grow without being in direct sunlight. As long as it gets a couple hours of sun a day, it can be quite happy. These trees can live for a long time in a suppressed condition, meaning there's a canopy that's allowing them to get minimum amount of light. So for instance, is it possible that this tree, which is what, maybe 10 to 11 foot tall, and where my hand is, it's about 2.5 inches.
Yeah, he's not a very big tree.
He could easily be 50, 75 years old, because they can do that.
Because he's been living in the shade.
Yes, he's small because he's living in the shade, but unlike fir and many other trees, giving the opportunity to get sunlight, this tree, the red spruce, will resume growing. Fir, if you suppress it for a lengthy period of time, certainly no more than 20 years, you can go around, thin all around it, give it lots of sunlight, and it will live, but it will never resume thriving. Red spruce will. For climate change, I think it's personally a contentious tree. Some people are planting it as a climate change tree. Others are very suspicious of how well it will do with climate change. We don't have a lot of options, so I'm keeping my red spruce. In this stand where we have a lot of red spruce, I also have our most number of white pine, especially large mature white pine. And so I am in here cutting red spruce and trying to promote more white pine, which is generally considered a good climate change tree. So basically, most people, I think, who are restoring their forest consider this to be a keeper tree for the most part. If you have something better like a hemlock or a white pine, certainly by all means, favor those. But in general, this is probably a far better tree than fir, which is going to be your most common conifer. So I'd say cut the fir, leave the red spruce, and if you have hemlock and white pine, promote those. Anyhow, these trees can often live to 300 plus years, and so you can get red spruce that are really, really large.
Not on this property.
They will be. We've got any number that are
Not
going
now. Okay. Yes.
Right.
In the future, hopefully, yes.
Really darn large, because we're going to let them grow for that another couple hundred years or something. So yeah, that's what I know. The basics of the red spruce tree, and we'll talk about more at another time. One thing I omitted mentioning perhaps earlier is, besides just the adventure of felling trees and wondering what's going to happen and what disasters await, certainly a significant part of what we're about is preparing the woodlot for climate change, cutting out trees like this white birch and fir to make way for more climate resilient trees such as the red oak, beech if we ever had any clean disease-free beech, hemlock, white pine, and of course ultimately the desirable trees, the ones that we are planning on for the long haul, will all live to be very old trees. So this is not doing 60-year rotations or 80-year rotations. That means you let your trees get to that age and then you start cutting them. This is about many of these trees living for 300 years and more, and ultimately dying and becoming great big, huge, large deadwood for the critters to enjoy. So it's, I know sometimes because this is more entertaining, the really reason that we're doing this is not for your entertainment. It is partly my entertainment, because I must confess to enjoying this, but it really is about the long-term welfare and benefit of a forest that we believe is going to be truly sustainable for a long, long, long time. Anyhow, on with the action.
Sticking in a wedge. There he goes. I think right where he wanted him.
Well, the tree is down, and I'm not, so woo-hoo.
Me neither. There was another one that he was a little tangled in. I was afraid it decided to come down where I was, but it didn't.
I thought maybe he would go a little more to the left, but that's all right. Like I say, he's down. Nobody's hurt so far.
Didn't take out any good trees.
Nope, nope. Well, the only good ones in this whole area are these little
Are the little baby
who
oaks.
are coming along. Everything else is white spruce,
Junk trees.
fir.
Birch. Actually,
Yeah,
it's not a lot of birch
a little bit of poplar down
along the
right
brook.
there is poplar. Everything in through right there is fir, popple. So, yeah, there's not much to damage at this point in time, but there will be one day.
We hope.
Right. Thanks for watching.
Catch you next time, guys.